fire is an inevitable event. The question is not if a fire will occur, but when, and if your property is ready. Since the large fires of 2015 to 2020 occurred, many government and private agencies have amped up their services to assist landowners to prepare their property through building protection, vegetation management, and prescribed burning, so that the next fire will have a far less negative effect. Our speakers are from CAL FIRE, the primary fire agency in California, a local fire district, and a specialist from Cooperative Extension, all with various services and funds for landowners to take advantage of.
In 2020, roughly 4 million acres of California burned. That might have been on the low end of what historically burned. I believe that because I think back to lightning in 2008, lightning in 2020. That lightning series in 2008 was June 22nd. No rain for the rest of summer. Those fires, if not suppressed, would have burned to the ocean, burned to a river, burned to an area that was not able to be burned. The vegetation we have has evolved with fire, so areas that have burned have been conditioned and vice versa. So by excluding fire, we've also changed vegetation and we change how that area burns. I've seen green vineyards unharvested burn and burned down to basically a nub, just a stop. And that included melting all the pipes, everything else.
UC Cooperative Extension in the County of Sonoma recognized after the fires of 2017, 19, and 20 that landowners really needed some specific help in applying science-based techniques to their land management. The County of Sonoma and UC Cooperative Extension have worked together to create a vegetation management website that aggregates a ton of resources that are useful to landowners. That includes potential funding sources such as grant programs from state, federal, and local, and data and tools such as the Wildfire Fuel Mapper and other collaboration resources all in one place. There are also lots of local fire safe councils where people can collaborate within those groups. If there isn't one in your area, Fire Safe Sonoma would be a place to look for that. Just starting by working with your immediate neighbors and understanding what you have in common, that's the best way to go, is to just start those conversations and know that these things take time.
Now, as a district, we're able to be involved in prescribed burns along with partner agencies, which we feel is a really important piece of overall community safety and something that traditionally in the last 100 years has not been our practice. We've been fire suppression oriented. So it feels good for us to be a part of that, and again, doing that in collaboration. We also have worked with the County of Sonoma and PG&E to get secure grant funding for programs like defensible space inspection, and we now have a chipper program.
There's two main grants that are out there. The Forest Health Grant, which is usually large-scale landscape modifications that can include fuels reduction, either after a burn scar has gone through and or just vegetation that is very heavy. Usually a large area that can include fuels reduction and or the planting of native trees. The other grant is the Fire Prevention and Education, and even though they're lumped into the same grant package, they're exactly what they say. The education is for that outreach and capacity building, looking at long-term education with either focus groups or target audiences, as well as entire counties. The prevention component comes more of the fuels reduction around communities, critical infrastructure, egress and ingress routes. So that's the more traditional fire breaks and things that people are used to seeing either along roads, around their rural communities where they have the wildland urban interface, or critical infrastructure, communications facilities, power generation facilities, water, sewer, those types of things. Individual citizens can then apply for grant monies in their area to be applied to their individual property, but as far as the applicant goes, the applicants need to be part of a bigger group or function.
All landowners should have a plan for how to fireproof their property. This includes the buildings, the wildlands, and their vineyards. You can take advantage of advice and funding from both local and state agencies. We'd like to acknowledge the agencies that provided the funding for these videos: the California Department of Food and Agriculture and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. If you would like to learn more on these subjects, please visit our website.